Hello, and welcome to a new installment of the Sonic Shuffle, the random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. I am the teacher, Dan.
I'm one of the students, Morg.
And I'm Devon, the other student.
And this week, we are reading some issues of Archie Sonic, including the Knuckles Chaotix special.
We are returning to do our solemn duty of learning more about Ken Pender's world.
Mm-hmm. Since we are now like firmly in the era where Ken Penders is in charge of most of the writing.
I can see that. It's funny that that the games are allowed to use like some of the Chaotix characters. They're not banned from using Vector and Charmy and SBO.
I would say that they existed before the comics, but yeah, they everyone but Mighty has appeared in like some earlier older thing, but I think Mighty is no. One of them is like it's SBO. I'm sorry. SBO is like from Knuckles Chaotix, but the others have all appeared in like some older thing.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. To the best of my knowledge, there isn't any capital N news. There's some. Oh, okay. Here's something. They made one of those adult coloring books for Sonic the Hedgehog. Releases October 25th. $12.99, 64 pages.
Okay.
Is Starline in it?
I don't know. I don't think so, but this doesn't seem to be an IDW, or maybe it is, actually. I'll find out, I guess. I'm literally just seeing this tweet that's announcing it and nothing else.
Well then, I'll have to do some research.
So, let's just get right into it. Sonic the Hedgehog, issue number 30. We get
Snively becomes the man of the house episode.
Mm-hmm. This issue's story is called The Return of Uncle Chuck. We open.
It's funny it's called that and not like Snively Strikes or something. It's like, no.
Snively's Revenge!
And it's like, no, Uncle Chuck's more important.
Yeah, they're like, we know what you're here for.
Yeah, we're here for Sonic's tragic uncle. So, we open with a panel of Sonic scarfing down chili dogs, belly full, as Uncle Chuck delivers even more.
Big and round.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Feeding. Sonic then wakes up to realize... Oh, also, important thing about this dream. Uncle Chuck is not a robot.
Yeah, he's got his regular person hands out and everything. No gloves.
Yes. He really does just look like Sonic with eyebrows and a mustache.
And regular person hands, no gloves.
Also no gloves. That's important. He does not handle gloves when cooking.
He does not put gloves on when cooking.
I feel like you should. I feel like when people cook, they...
Well, maybe it's a Mobian custom and we just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe the gloves are actually grosser since they wear them all the time.
Oh, you think it's like I wear these when I'm doing my normal activities. These are actually nasty gloves.
Yes, yes.
I'll use my bare hands to cook and clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as long as you wash your hands.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sonic wakes up because he was dreaming about Uncle Chuck again.
He was eating a shoe.
Yeah.
And Sally's like, man, are you good?
He's like reminiscing upon how his uncle got turned into a robot and is under Robotnik thrall.
I like that his eyes look fucking goofy while he's eating this chili dog.
Yeah,
he fucking loves those dogs.
He's got a lazy eye or something going on.
I feel like they're trying to convey that, like, both his eyes are looking in the same direction, but because of how his, like, head is shaped, it just makes it look like he has one massive lazy eye.
Yeah!
Uncle Chuck, as we know, used to run a local chili dog stand. But such is the past. He got turned into a robot, he's under the thrall of Robotnik, and, is somehow being used to, help, Robotnik plot out his next evil plan.
Yeah, he's apparently the most efficient robot they have.
He's gonna be used as a guinea pig for a trans-dimensional transporter. Which the editor notes, was used to imprison King Acorn.
I don't remember.
That's Sully's dad.
I didn't know his name is just Scott.
Yeah, I know that Sally's dad, I just forgot that happened. Also, God, Uncle Chuck looks soulless.
Yeah.
Well, he's a soulless cold automaton now, so.
That's rude.
Yes.
Well, it won't be for long.
Robotnik is too hasty with the teleportation experiment and just puts himself in the void, which conveniently is on the computer.
I love that he puts himself in the void. Nothing like Uncle Chuck doesn't end up in the void or anything.
Yeah, apparently the button to send someone to the void is just, like, pointed at the computer.
And it's also the same button that makes Uncle Chuck normal. I don't know.
Yeah,
but not fully normal, but, like, normal in the head.
Yes. Unthralled.
Unthralled, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, important to note during this whole Robotnik and Uncle Chuck affair is Snively is giving Robotnik a lot of guff. He's like, man, you suck ass. And Robotnik's like, what was that? And he's like, I mean, I love you, sir. I love your boots and I'd love to kiss them.
So, Snively... Oh, yeah?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Snively... Since Robotnik is now in the computer, Snively knows he can just take charge and properly crush the rebellion. So he sets off to do that.
And Robotnik, not happy, obviously. He doesn't want to be stuck. He doesn't want Snively disobeying him and running things.
He says, Snively, there's no games on this phone.
He could really go for some gaming. But Sonic, we see Sonic just at the chili dog stand, where the chili dog stand used to be. It's kind of in ruins. But wouldn't you know it, Uncle Chuck's here. Normal again. Well, like Morg said, unthralled.
Yeah, he's still a robot. And he's also like, don't be afraid, I'm okay. I'm your good uncle again. I'm just still metal.
Yes.
And he just believes him.
Yeah.
No problem.
Well, it's Uncle Chuck. Why would he lie?
So true.
He loves his Uncle Chuck and his delicious chili dogs.
With a mustache like that, how could you ever be bad?
He's got kind of a Captain Crunch look with that mustache.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
So we cut to later. They're at Knothole. Uncle Chuck has begun cooking for Sonic.
Yeah, it just starts like a grill.
Mm-hmm. It's just got a regular grill with some chili and hot dogs.
He's like, Sonic, I have something vital to tell you. Give me a second while I go grill.
Mm-hmm.
He's grill-pilled.
He just wants to grill.
He just wants to grill. He can't eat the food anymore, so at least...
Yeah. We just got Sonic for that.
Yeah.
Making food for other people is better for him.
I like that he says there's no time to be eating, Sonic, and yet he's still cooking. Like, he's...
Yeah, he still goes and makes food for him. Like, he's like, there's no time. We have to talk about something super important right now as he's getting out the grill and starting it up.
And then they're like, wow, Snively isn't running things? He's a piece of shit. What's he gonna do?
I hope he doesn't do anything weird like wear Robotnik's clothes or something.
Mm-hmm. She asks Nicole to, like, calculate what'll happen, and Nicole says the results are the complete and total destruction of the planet.
Seems bad.
Nicole's like, this dude is gonna fuck things up so bad.
Yeah, Nicole's like, somehow he's worse than Robotnik.
Yeah. Like, by level of incompetency, like, he's just gonna ruin everything.
Yeah.
Instead of roboticizing everything, he's gonna destroy the planet instead.
Yeah. It's... Well, we know from Perfect Chaos that Robotnik has a tendency to get his lackeys... His lackeys have a tendency to do that unchecked. So, Uncle Chuck decides he's gonna be the spy for them in order to figure out a solution. And we then see Robotnik and Snively. And Snively is just dressed like Robotnik right now.
Robotnik hates it. He's so upset.
Robotnik is so pissed.
He's like, how dare you? Red's not even your color.
Do you think Robotnik just has like smaller like outfits like that? Or do you think Snively like made one specifically like that?
I think Snively has been making this in secret and like wears it when nobody's looking or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like stands in front of the mirror and he like says in a mocking Robotnik voice like, "Oh, I'm so dangerous."
He might get like robots to make it for him.
Yeah.
Snively's plan is to create a smaller teleporter and put it on a plane so he can just swallow up entire sections of Mobius.
Slurp.
Yep.
Swallow. He like passes, like Uncle Chuck comes in pretending to be evil robot and he's like, construct this. And, Uncle Chuck like gives the plans to Sonic and his crew, I guess.
Sonic heads into whatever warehouse they're supposed to go to the warehouse where the plane is being kept. But he just sort of ends up in the void.
He also gets zapped to the void. He's just like stuck in a TV on Snively.
Yeah, and Snively like puts him in like his license plate.
Yeah.
Yeah! Snively just has like a fucking screen on his little plane and Sonic's upset.
My vanity plate is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Snively has a great little helmet. It's just got like a little S on it for Snively. It's great.
Yeah, it has a lightning bolt through it. He's been planning this for so long.
Yeah. Sonic calls him a sicko.
He does! He's like, wow, you're more of a sicko than Robotnik.
Yeah. Snively's flying his plane saying, yes! Ha ha ha! Yes!
Real sicko hours in here.
Sure is.
he's just teleporting away huge chunks of nature.
Sonic's like, you're gonna ruin this fucking planet, and Snively's like, well, if the fucking rebels surrender to me, I won't. And Sonic's like, they'll never! And then he keeps making void puns.
So he's intercepted when, Uncle Chuck comes in on a little, flying ship to, get in a dogfight with him.
I did not realize in these that, Uncle Chuck was talking to someone, and, like, we figure out who it is later, but I, like, could not understand what he was looking at. He's just looking at the screen, looking at the camera, like he's on The Office, being like, I can't stop Snively from using the transporter.
Yeah, he's talking to us, the audience.
Yeah.
And we're saying correct.
Yeah, we're saying, like, but you have to. Anyway, Sonic's throat game causes Snively to crash.
Yeah.
God, that is what happens! What the fuck?
I've been thinking about this ever since I read it.
Mm-hmm.
I was sure I missed something, but...
I don't understand!
He just eats a whole chili dog and it shocks Snively and distracts him.
Well, not just one lowly chili dog. Sonic does just go for two at once.
Mm-hmm. He swallows two at once. It says chomp. Snively's like, what's that? And it distracts...
Snively says, what the fuck, man?
And it distracts him enough that Uncle Chuck can get a blast in on him.
Yeah, Sonic's got he's got the Glizzy Gulper.
He's got the Glizzy Gulper.
Sonic Throat Goat Supreme over here. Sonic and Nancy Reagan are holding hands.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
So, Uncle Chuck, is able to, lay down some more fire.
Sonic does puns. Everyone's punning.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in their efforts, Uncle Chuck resummons Dr. Robotnik and drops him in to, Snively's ship.
This is who he was talking to before.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He fucking squashes Snively with his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Robotnik's like, hey, Snively, you ever play Elden Ring?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure this joke is incredible.
There's a move in Elden Ring where you just jump up in the air and slam down into the ground with your ass, and it creates a shockwave so strong it kills enemies.
Are you
That's
kidding?
Incredible.
I'm not joking.
Is this a fucking, like, Mario ground?
You slam down with your ass. You slam down with your ass, and it creates a shockwave. It does damage.
Damn.
It's actually a really good move. It does a lot of stagger.
I gotta play this game.
Amazing.
Oh god. But yeah, Robotnik's like, yeah, I had to make a promise with Uncle Chuck not to fucking kill the freedom fighters right now. Because I was freed. I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, I'm surprised he kept this promise.
Me too. There is a note that says, we'll see how long that lasts, from the editor.
Yeah.
He does...
And then Sonic congratulates the beautiful couple.
Yeah.
He literally calls them couple.
I'm
like, isn't that his nephew?
Yeah, that's his nephew. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But yeah, Uncle Chuck's part of the crew now.
Yay!
We get a backup story, drawn with pencils by Patrick Spaziente, so everything looks a little nicer, but also Robotnik has bigger teeth.
We can see inside his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
We get a great shot of his uvula.
He's slobbering. Like, the art looks good, it's just very, like, weird seeing this panel specifically.
Go.
Once again, it's always a fun game of, like, spotting what the artist is particularly fond of drawing, and for this one, I think it's teeth.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, like, pay $300 to see if I can get Vor art from Patrick Spaziente.
Fuck.
Yeah, this man loves mouths.
Fuck.
So...
You do see inside of, the fuck is his name? Holy shit. Coconuts. I was gonna call him Bananas, and I'm like, that's not his fucking name. See inside Coconut's mouth, too. He is very excited about
you
Bananas.
See inside of, like, God, what's the rabbit's name? Oh, God.
We're both struggling.
Yeah, Bunny Rabbits. Yeah, in the last page, you get a Bunny Rabbit panel where she's got one hell of a mouth.
I know. Guy loves mouths.
Mm-hmm.
It's very expressive, at least. But yeah, he's like, Robotnik sends him down to get the fucking Chaos Emeralds.
Who keeps stealing my Chaos Emeralds?
He's talking about an anteater? I don't know.
Yeah, he's just got it's a little 4-page story where Coconuts goes on a mission to recover Chaos Emeralds, but, he's got to trap this mysterious individual who escapes all of his traps that he literally got from Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, you ever see Wile E. Coyote in Roadrunner?
He literally does, huh? Because he mentions the coyote later.
Yeah, he calls, he says he got the traps from his, quote, coyote
friend. Yeah.
So, jot that down, that's canon. So, after messing up 2 traps, or 3 traps, actually, the mysterious thief escapes. Robotnik punishes Coconuts by putting him in a grinder, reducing him to just a head. While, Bunny
Grinder?
and Sally...
This isn't Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Sorry.
Sally and Bunny reveal they stole the Chaos Emeralds to wear as jewelry for a charity dance.
That seems, dangerous.
Yes, extremely.
Okay.
To wear the emeralds as jewelry.
Okay, but whenever Tails gets his hand on the emerald, he just, like, uses them as, like, fuel for his car.
True. True. Yeah, they just really like
no one's really using the emeralds correctly.
It's fine.
Yeah,
I don't know what
honestly, if Robotnik wasn't evil, he would be the only one doing them right, because every time he gets them, he's like, I'm gonna use them to, like, power my city. I'm like, yeah, that's free energy right there.
I mean, that is kind of what Tails is doing. It's just only his car.
For his one car.
So, that ends issue 31, and we move on to the Knuckles Chaotix special.
Let's go.
So... Oh, whoops, accidentally opened something. Hang on. There we go. Oh,
script Ken Penders.
Yep.
Let's
see. It's an adaptation of the hit new Sega 32X game Knuckles Chaotix. Script by Mike Kantarovic and Ken Penders. And as well as a couple backup stories also written by Ken Penders, and one with Ken Penders penciling. So that'll be good.
It's
great.
Isn't this the game that, like, you said is hard to find?
Yeah, it's this really obscure game. I don't know how hard it would be to find, but it is a very obscure title. I'm gonna check eBay to see how much this goes for. Knuckles.
Yeah, the most I know about it is from the fact that in Big the Cat's Big Adventure, it's like Shadow's like, at least people can play my game.
It looks like a cartridge for Knuckles Chaotix for the Sega 32X is $75
Right.
at minimum.
Wow. Well, Patreon goals.
Yeah, and everything past that is more in the $150 to like $300 range. I think I'm just going to visit a certain layer of a certain individual named Vin. But until then, we get this little prelude in a great font that is definitely easy to read because Sonic and Robotnik's faces are behind it.
Mm.
Yeah, my eyes definitely aren't straining.
Mm-hmm. Tall trees, lush fields of grass, cool, clear, crystal streams of water. These are but a few of the elements that comprise the floating island, giving the impression of an unending paradise. As with everything in nature, however, there is a balance. For every known quantity, there is the unknown. For every field of vegetation, there exists a patch of arid desert sand. For every explored territory, there lie uncharted regions. And for every friend, there exist the predators. For ages, visitors have been few and far between, with the war now being waged below upon the surface of Mobius, between the forces of that evil despot, Dr. Ivo Robotnik, and the valiant Sonic the Hedgehog, and his courageous band of freedom fighters. It was inevitable that the floating island would be drawn into the conflict. But as a haven to escape the harshness and cruelty of the war, or a beachhead used by one side to overcome the other? So yeah, we see the floating island. I
love whenever we get to the floating island and they're like, this island, it has so many secrets. And I'm just like, I mean, it doesn't look that big.
Yeah.
Although it does seem to have more stuff on it than I think. And then, like, the scale keeps changing. Obviously, like, this intro page, like, is just stylized because Knuckles is humongous on it otherwise.
Yeah, but I just remember comics where, like, Knuckles is like, back to my floating island. Oh, I'm in the desert section of it now. And I'm just like, how?
To be fair, the reference they would be going off of is the entirety of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So they
That's
assume
true.
anything in that game is on the island.
Alright.
Yeah. So we see that everyone is here at a big carnival that's being thrown for the freedom fighters.
Where does carnival
I have to read the intro prelude.
Oh, absolutely.
Though, real quick. The fabled floating island of Mobius. A nice place to visit. Or at least it would be if tourism wasn't frowned upon by the natives. Thanks, Ken.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, in fact, Knuckles is here right now, at this, carnival, telling them that he did not invite them here. They just set this up.
Also, like, I'm so confused on who lives on this island.
Yeah, it's...
Like, how did this get set up?
Mm.
It's not just Knuckles that lives here then, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah. From what I can tell, the people who live on the island are Knuckles and the Chaotix, which is Vector, SBO, Charmy, and Mighty.
And then this rat guy.
Mm-hmm. This guy.
Yeah, but it's always like Knuckles is surprised when he sees like another living creature on this island.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, man, you live here though.
Yeah.
Your house.
Sonic is surprised by this because, like, if Knuckles didn't invite them here, then who did? And is in fact this evil cartoon rat named Renfield T. Rodent.
Well, we don't know he's evil yet.
Yeah, the red eyes and the incredibly upbeat business suit tell us nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the fact that when he's like, here, go into this hall of mirrors for no reason, his dark silhouette means nothing.
Yeah. They go into the hall of mirrors, and there's just like a sudden flash of light that puts everyone but Knuckles inside a mirror. And also it took away Knuckles' powers. He doesn't have the spikes on his knuckles anymore.
Also, his hair got shorter.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I forgot is one of the reasons he can glide is because he uses his locks to do so, ?
Yes. I am noticing now that they did make it shorter for this.
He mentions it.
Yeah, he even says.
Mm-hmm. So, Knuckles, flees and wonders what the hell he's gonna do now.
Yeah, at first I also thought, like, he got sent to another dimension where, like, no one exists. Because everyone who was at the carnival isn't there anymore.
Yeah, they all got put into the mirror world.
But Eggman was like, Robotnik. I don't know why I keep going back and forth. Robotnik is like, I want you around to see this happen.
I have to, like, remind, no one really, except myself, that in the first spread of this, like, carnival, we saw, Amy, we saw, Porker Lewis, we saw that horrible skunk.
Oh, Amy.
We saw...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, everyone's here.
The horrible skunk is a different skunk.
Oh, is this a different horrible skunk?
Yeah, because they have, like, pink boots and not the hat on.
I don't know, maybe he has, like, different outfits.
Yeah, true.
It could be him. It could be the horrible skunk.
True.
We've got all the, like, characters from, like, the Sally miniseries.
Yeah. None of them are there when, like, they get out of said mirror world, unless they all went into the Hall of Mirrors at once.
I think that is what happened, because that's why he couldn't find, like, anyone help, and he's like, later, he's like surprised to see Charmy, because he's like, why weren't you at the park like everyone else? So I think
this rat just got everyone to stop what they were doing on their fun carnival games and go into the horrible Hall of Mirrors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's legitimately like what this is telling us, which is
sick.
Fucking stupid.
Because personally, every time I go to the carnival, I know immediately when someone says, hey, go into the Hall of Mirrors, I say yes.
Because, like, yeah, there's, like, garbage on the ground and stuff when we see the, like, Robotnik.
Yeah, which is why I thought Knuckles was sent to another dimension. I was like, oh, he was sent to the empty realm.
No, everyone else was sent to the empty realm. Which is way dumber. So much stupider.
Also, did, like, Robotnik just send, like, the entirety of the Freedom Fighters, like, you're invited to a fun carnival, like, invites?
Yes.
He got all of their addresses and didn't just, like, show up and kill them. He instead was like, this is perfect.
I guess.
It's the perfect plan.
I love cartoon villains.
I do love to see Eggman, like, over the, what is it called? The roller coaster. And it's, like, used as his mustache. Here, I'll send a picture. And,
Yeah, no, I see the one you're looking at. It's really good.
It's good.
I love cartoon villain plans instead of being like, I'll show up to your house and I'll kill you. It's, I'll send you an invite to a fun carnival which I'll build, so you'll go into the Hall of Mirrors. Mm-hmm. And then I can put you in the mirror dimension.
He loves his carnivals. He loves his fucking amusement parks. This motherfucker.
He's a theme park guy.
Yeah, this motherfucker is going to the Disney theme park during COVID, not standing 6 feet away from people and saying, wow, I'm so safe.
I think he would do it on purpose.
I know, that's why he would.
I think he would just try to annoy other people by making them think he gave them COVID.
Yeah, he would be like coughing everywhere comically. You know, he wouldn't wash his hands after literally everything.
Mm-hmm. Knuckles does not know what to do when suddenly a small bee boy passes by.
Just a funny little guy.
This bee changes sizes so much. I know it's like I know the idea is that the bee is in like the foreground and then the background, but like it just looks like he's changing sizes instead for some reason. Because the first time he appears, he looks like he's Knuckles' size. Then he looks like he's like teeny tiny when he's about to hit the tree. And like, I don't know. And like, they're next to each other. Like, am I stupid? Like, I don't know. I don't mean to nitpick this, but I've just been like, staring at this one page and being like, what size is Charmy?
Mm-hmm. Charmy is whatever size the plot requires.
Yeah. So, the other Chaotix show up, too. SBO, being a chameleon, reveals himself after having blended in with the tree.
And Charmy says, hey, why are you eavesdropping? And he's like, I wasn't. I was just sitting invisible on this tree minding my own business.
He likes to do
cool.
it.
He loves it.
Vector comes by listening to music on his Walkman.
Because he's cool.
He's so cool.
And I'm always trying to decide if he is wearing a jacket of a crocodile.
Mm-hmm.
He's
got these weird cuffs on his shoulders.
I know.
Yeah.
It makes it look like he's in an amusement park costume.
He's wearing is he wearing a fucking alligator coat or crocodile coat or whatever?
It's just his arms that do this. He looks like a Lego character.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
Maybe he's from JoJo Part 3.
Yeah, he's made of tires.
He's just fucking singing along and like he's not paying attention at all until someone steals his headphones so they actually listen.
And of course also here is Mighty the Armadillo smashing through a cave wall.
Who?
Who? He's
and
like,
it's two good friends.
His two good friends, Bomb and Heavy. I will say,
who? Knuckles?
Bomb and Heavy are in Knuckles Chaotix, and to the best of my knowledge, no other game. They're like these weird joke characters that are part of the story. So, in Knuckles Chaotix, between stages you get to like select the characters through like a claw machine game.
Sick.
And if you fuck it up, you get either Bomb or Heavy, who, Bomb explodes and hurts you, and Heavy is very, very slow and makes it hard for you to move around.
Bomb and Heavy are just muscles and sunglasses from, fucking Kyle XY.
Yeah, it's muscles and sunglasses.
It's literally, it looks like Heavy looks like he has sunglasses when he first appears.
Mm-hmm. So.
But also, who is Mighty?
Mighty is, well, I've mentioned Mighty before. Mighty is a character from, an arcade game, that did not come to the US, and also, he's in Sonic Mania.
He never shows up, I guess in Sonic Mania he shows up then. But I was gonna say, he never shows up again while, SBO, Charmy, and Vector do show up in other games later, other 3D games, but I guess he's in...
Yeah.
The sequence of these panels comprises my favorite thing, which is Knuckles constantly being like, what the fuck is going on?
Mm-hmm. Just constantly looking around confused.
He's like, this is my house, and I didn't know at least like 5 discrete other people were living here.
Mm-hmm. Bomb and Heavy have to explain their backstory, which is they're repair robots, but Robotnik accidentally gave them sentience.
Yeah, the greatest line is, he did such a good job, he gave us a conscience, and also a conscience.
Yeah. Consciousness and consciences.
Such a hard set of words to say.
Robotnik keeps doing this. He
loves to do it.
He did this for Gamma. He did this for the robot that always hangs out with Rouge the Bat and Shadow the Hedgehog, whose name I will learn eventually.
Mm-hmm. He just does it. Sometimes on purpose, in this case it was by accident, but I think he just likes the he's very fond of the video game Detroit Become Human and sci-fi stories. What if robots were sentient and could think?
Oh, he loves Detroit Become Human. He sees no issues with it whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. God, this motherfucker loves David Cage.
He loves David Cage games.
God.
He's never gotten a good ending, though, specifically because he loves being, like, violent in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He, like, has a fucking real setup. He gets the QTEs wrong in Heavy Rain because it's funny.
It is!
It is funny.
Fuck.
He's right.
But I want to see Robotnik stream. I want to see Robotnik be a streamer.
There's this really good cover for one of the issues of IDW Sonic where it's Robotnik like in a VR setup just messing with Sonic and his friends.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Let's go.
Yeah, there's even like a little chat. You can see like stuff from Metal Sonic and Dr. Starline.
Let's go.
Yeah, that one's real good.
Mm-hmm. Bomb and Heavy, before they escaped Robotnik, grabbed a chest full of power gems.
Of cool rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, cool rock.
And it's perfect for their plans.
Just a bunch of Z crystals.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna charge up in JO.
Fuck.
So
Knuckles would be the person who posts the I'm Jano with the buds.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he always wears a crystal around his neck. He needs to charge it up with a bro.
But he never has a bro around because he likes to work alone.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
It's tragic, really.
So tragic.
I'm realizing as I read this particular comic that I think the like part 1, part 2, part 3 things is like divided up by ads. I think there's just like an ad between each one because you can the delineation like,
is weird.
Mm-hmm. On the very edges of these like pages of these scans, you can see like the page on the other side of the book.
Yeah.
And like I'm looking at the one for the start of part 3 and it doesn't match up, which makes me realize that must have had an ad. Maybe for
Danimals.
I don't know what, but yeah. An ad for James Pond 2 or something like that.
For Gex.
For Gex. Bubsy 3D.
Yeah.
So we get Robotnik and Renfield T. Rodent just celebrating their successful plans. But then they notice, for some reason, all the rides have been turned back on. Which means that, someone's messing with it. This might be part of a plan from Knuckles. So he summons Mecha Sonic, last seen in issue 25.
Okay, here's a quick question. How do we feel about whenever Mecha Sonic has, like, a mouth?
I prefer a mouthless.
Yeah, I prefer when he has, like, as little expression as possible, just kind of no talk me angy.
Yeah.
Yeah, or, like, if he has, like, there's, like, robot teeth, like, that don't open, but, like, kinda, it still looks like a mouth, but it doesn't, like, open and close like a mouth.
Yeah.
He still looks like no talk me angy, but...
Yeah.
Like a vent, or something.
Yeah, like a vent or something.
I think this is supposed to be a vent, I just, like, it kept shifting like, you know, a mouth would. And I was like, no, Metal Sonic is supposed to have no talk me angy.
Yeah. So Robotnik sends him out to find Knuckles. So he does. Knuckles and his Chaotix, fight Metal Sonic. They show off the tether ring thing that you use in the video game.
Yeah, I don't know the video game, so I was like, what is happening?
Yeah. Mighty punches him through 2 stalls.
He sure
Bomb
is
just explodes, and they just tell us he's gonna reform later. It's fine.
Devon didn't see him reform later. We talked about this before you were on call.
I thought he died.
He thought he died.
I thought he died and everyone was fine with it.
But he does appear later. It's just very like,
They say at the top of the page after that he can just pull himself back together. But...
Okay, but like, they said that and I didn't see him later, so I was like, are you sure?
Metal Sonic turns into his final boss form from the video game, which they solve by making Knuckles gigantic. I can't remember if making people big is a thing in the game or not, but he can do it here.
Big. I like that he's the big one, even though he doesn't have the powers. He's like, I will become big. I will still punch him, even though...
and then later he gets powers back, and he's like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Cool, I already punched him without my pointy knuckles, but this still helps. Also, the energy that makes him big makes everyone explode from the mirrors?
Yeah, so...
No, he punches the big guy onto the Hall of Mirrors, which breaks them and frees everyone.
Yeah.
That's right, because it's like, should this War of the Gargantuans spell into my Hall of Mirrors? It's just funny that they were, like, literally stuck in the mirrors, is what they're saying. Like, if they weren't just teleported somewhere, it's like, no, they were trapped.
Yeah, Knuckles just smashes Metal Sonic to pieces now that he's got his little pointy knuckles back. And Robotnik escapes. Renfield tries to go with him, but he gets kicked off, his little getaway roller coaster cart. And Renfield tries to run after him, but is trapped under the little dome at the entrance.
He just looks like he's put in a mousetrap.
Yeah, he's in a little mousetrap.
Like from the
board game.
Board game, yeah.
Womp womp.
We get a little page of fan art from children. A 12-year-old and all.
Of Sonic fighting the horrible skunk while Sally falls in love with Knuckles.
Yeah.
It is
canon.
It is the horrible skunk, because he's got the pink shoes. Okay. You were right.
Uh-huh.
There's a little... And then, we finished this, story with, Renfield being arrested by cops who look like lemons.
I thought they were Muppets characters.
They look like Muppets.
I was like, damn, the Muppets are here.
I guess the cops are... I guess the plant people are the cops. So...
Also, how'd the cops get to the floating island?
Why are there cops here?
Why are there cops here?
Did they
this
get
begs
invited?
the question, is there just like a regular like society up here and like Knuckles doesn't know about it because he never leaves the like temple with Emerald?
Yes, that is
Much
what
to
it is.
consider.
There's like a regular like society. He's like, oh damn, I'm all alone protecting this island, and people are like, what? What's going on?
Yeah.
Hey, Knuckles. You should...
Hey, do you want to come over here?
Yeah. Hang out with us. No. Oh,
None of them want... So, Knuckles and the Chaotix don't want to form a team, but they do anyways.
Yeah! They refuse, except they don't.
Yeah.
Also, this is... Yeah. It's just called the Chaotix.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where did this even come from?
We get a little story of, the Chaotix playing tag. And at the end of it, SBO finds a weird little guy, but doesn't really know what his deal is. He just, like, teleports away and says good day.
We don't see him very well. He's just in shadow.
There's more weird scaling stuff. This particular story doesn't look very well drawn. It's drawn by...
No.
Harvo, whoever that is. Probably... I don't know who that is. But then we get another story. This one drawn by Ken Penders.
The hunt is on.
The hunt is on.
The hunt is on.
They're under attack by a mysterious new individual named Archimedes. We see Vector fall into a trap hole.
Rip.
And he bonks his head. Rest in peace, Vector.
He's fine. He's dead, but he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hear a whistling sound, and it's a bunch of little blue spears coming after them. They explode on impact.
And Charmy, like, gets knocked out. They're just getting picked off one by one.
Yeah. SPOC.
Also, this is confusing.
This does list...
Huh?
Sorry.
I was just gonna say this is kind of confusing, where it's like, are you little feller? And then it's like, that's him. Maybe, maybe not. And then it's like, what do you mean he's there? And then they're like, it's just like weird. Like a weird exchange of like, oh, they're looking for Charmy, but then Knuckles is like, no, that's not him. Except it is.
Yeah, there's also a very funny part where like Knuckles is like, okay, but have we seen SBO in a while? And SBO is like, once again, still like just on a tree.
Yeah, he's fine. He's just on a tree, but it's just super, like, it's just a weird, like, he changes his mind and he's thinking about SBO instead.
Yeah, we see a forward-facing SBO and it doesn't look great.
Yeah, some characters you just can't draw forward-facing.
His forehead's so lumpy.
He's got a big forehead ridge.
Sometimes you draw like a character in 3/4 profile and you're like, I will never draw you face on.
Sometimes Knuckles looks a little funny face on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in this comic.
Yes.
Yes.
Mighty gets attacked by a robot.
Yeah, just like a random robot.
Mm-hmm.
Nice color.
They punch each other, and they're both tired at the end.
Yeah! He's just splayed out with his crotch, just like...
Sunbathing.
Yeah.
He's sunning his balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or sunning his butthole. Is that the trend?
Yeah, it's the butthole.
Yeah, it's the butthole.
Oh yeah, he's sunning his butthole to allow the sunlight to absorb directly into his system, or however they think that works.
It gives you a lot of vitamin D or something. I bet, probably. I don't know.
I have no clue.
SVO gets grabbed by someone the size of a man.
This entire comic's funny because it's like, oh shit, someone's picking us off one by one, but it's not like they like disappear.
No.
And Knuckles is like, oh shit, we gotta go find them. No, he's always just kind of like, I don't know, just leave them.
Mm-hmm.
Except we do find out that they're all taken because they're all at the same place. So it's like,
because Knuckles just like leaves.
Knuckles, my man, if you're worried about
they're all like,
them,
hey man, we could go back and get our friends, and he's like, nah.
Gotta focus on the mission. So Knuckles realizes he's the last one standing. And a mysterious voice tells him that this could have been easier if they all stuck together.
Yeah, it could have.
What's more important, Knuckles? Your friends or the mysterious threat? And the issue ends with telling us to read about Knuckles' next adventure in Sonic the Hedgehog number 31, on sale December 1995.
Damn.
So...
Can't wait.
Glad to know Knuckles in every, like, continuity is the same guy where someone's like, hey man, I have something important to tell you. He's just like, not now.
Mm-hmm. No.
Not now, sorry. I can't think about that.
Like, he has various levels of, like, being fooled and stuff, though, or being, like, kind of a himbo. Like, that changes, but he's still just like, no, I'm very one-track. He's very one-track minded, regardless of what continuity he's in.
Yeah, because I'm always caught up with, like, Knuckles at the start of Sonic Adventures being like, damn, what's my past? Where did all my people go? And Tikal being like, hey, let me show you, bud. And him being like, I'm sorry, I don't have time for that.
Mm-hmm. Knuckles is doing his any % run.
Yeah. He's ignoring the lore. Anytime someone tries to give him character dialogue, he's mashing that, like, continue button.
For sure.
He's clipping into the floor to try to, like, zoom to another boss.
So, issue 31. Covered by Spaziente. This issue's story, a robot rides the rails.
A robot gets railed.
Yeah.
No.
Not yet.
I love this cover photo, which just, like, has a Transformer on it.
Who doesn't? Yeah.
That's Megatron right there.
I'm loving...
Starscream.
I think that's Starscream. We also get Robotnik in a little conductor's hat.
Yeah! That's good.
And we get the return of the horrible skunk.
The horrible skunk is here again to continue being horrible.
I don't remember him from before. Like, I remember what he looks like, but I don't remember him being this scummy.
Yeah, I for some reason remembered him being cool.
Yeah, he was pretty alright when he first showed up. He's pretty bad in this one.
He's bad.
I was just like, oh hey, I remember that guy. I remember him being cool. And then 2 seconds in, I'm like, wow, he sucks ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember his personality, but he sucks.
Yeah. Oh, Script and Pencils by Ken Penders.
Well, would you look at that?
Is that why the skunk sucks?
Well, I mean, that's one reason. So I'll talk more about it when we actually meet him, but so Sally is on top of a train, a moving train. So she's like doing a plan where she's like trying to sabotage whatever's being delivered by this train. Oh.
I'm good. Sorry.
Okay. She gets on the train. She like has to jump off a bridge onto it, and Sonic goes after. And the other characters get on a plane to also go after it.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Sally is able to get inside the train, where she finds a big robot that's going to be used for one of Robotnik's plans.
Where she finds Starscream.
Yeah, she finds Starscream. Sonic is about to get on the train, but gets shot with a laser. And Sally is being grabbed by a pair of hands.
By a mysterious shadowy figure.
As it turns out, it's Geoffrey St. John, who isn't wearing gloves.
Yeah, and puts his disgusting hands all over Sally's mouth. But it's fine, because he's going to clean it off real quick.
Yeah, he kisses her. So, Geoffrey St. John is Ken Pender's trying to write a James Bond-style character.
Wow, he's doing a real bad... Well, you know what?
No, he's doing a good job.
Good job at it.
Material.
That's the problem. He's doing a good job. So that's the thing about James Bond, is that he kind of sucks.
He's a disgusting sex pervert. Just like James Bond.
Yeah, just
perfect.
Great. Hooray!
It's funny that aren't you listening to Kill James Bond now, Dan?
Yeah.
So you're like, yep. Seems familiar.
It's very interesting because I've only really experienced James Bond through like pastiches, parodies, and learning about the source material. I understand why people make fun of it so much.
Can I tell a fun little story from my childhood relating to James Bond?
Please.
Absolutely.
So when I was a young kid, there was a nice boy who lived down the street before I knew what the word being gay was. And I really liked this nice boy, and he was obsessed with James Bond. So I read the entirety of the young James Bond novels, so I had a reason to talk to him. And so I would go over to his house all the time, and we would watch James Bond movies, and I would never really enjoy it, but I was like, I'm getting to hang out with him, so that's fun.
Wow. That's beautiful.
I know.
That's awesome.
And that's how I know some weird things about James Bond.
Damn.
Like the fact that there were young James Bond novels where he was a small, precocious child who sucked.
Yeah, what the fuck? I knew there were James Bond novels. I did not know there were young James Bond novels.
I know, they sucked.
I knew about the cartoon James Bond Jr., which I have never seen, but have heard many things about.
I don't think I could, tell you the names of these books. I just have this, dark memory.
What we do for our crushes.
I know, it's messed up.
A tragic tale of romance.
Here's a shitty tale of romance. The fucking skunk that, I don't know, he just gives me bad vibes.
He does very much establish that he's an adult man.
Well, He is giving me such bad vibes. I was like, oh good, he's the villain of this arc.
He also, grabs Sally. I know it's, just to... It's not even pulling her out of danger or anything. He's just grabbing her and being like, hey, what are you doing? I'm gonna kiss you without asking you. Cool.
Yeah.
I thought this was, fake for so long because Sally keeps asking him questions and he answers them with, things that sound like lies. Where she's like, hey, where's the rest of your crew? And he's like, oh, they're just up front doing something else.
But they are!
I know! And I was just like, oh, so it's a lie. Like, he's lying. And then, like, they just are.
Yeah. So, he explains that, he and his boys are, also trying to sabotage the robot because it's headed to whatever part of Mobius they live on.
Yeah, Skunksburg. Or France. I don't know.
It's yeah. So
that's where Antoine is from also.
Yeah. They're from the Mobius French Quarter.
Well, good to know that all French Mobians suck.
So Sonic hitches a ride on the plane that the other characters are flying. Distinctly not Tails. It's Antoine flying the plane.
I know. Real weird. Tails is like in the cover photo.
Yeah.
And he's like distinctly
it's not Rotor. Here. It's not Rotor either, who's also kind of a techie guy.
Yeah. So unfortunately the robot activates, and they have to fight it.
Did you guys want a jealous Sonic plotline?
Well, I didn't, but...
Well,
someone
Ken
did.
Penders did, so he wrote it.
Yeah. So, they're fighting this robot. It, like, transforms into a big spider once more people start showing up, and they establish, like, it's able to react to bigger threats by becoming more dangerous. It grabs onto the plane. Geoffrey pulls out a gun. Well, it's a bullet gun. And Sally provides a scrambler.
Okay, so this is the part where I was like, oh, yeah, this guy is evil. Because earlier Sonic was chasing the plane and he got zapped. And it didn't really show from where he got zapped. And at this point, Sonic goes to stop the robot, but he gets zapped instantly. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So the skunk guy is attacking him. Like, because he's evil and he sucks. Right. But no. No, he turns out to have the gun that works.
Yeah. He does shoot a bowling net over the robot, which does not work at all.
It's pretty funny.
So Sonic's got to shove this cartridge into the back of the robot. So they come up with a plan. Antoine or Geoffrey's guys are shooting at it. It's like a sniper spotter combo.
Yeah, for a robot that's like 10 feet away.
They're gonna use the plane. They use the plane to like distract the robot. Sally gets grabbed and lands conveniently in Geoffrey's arms. Sonic like shoves the cartridge in. They sniper rifle the robot and blow it up. And the story ends with they've stopped the train. They're like looting it for supplies. Geoffrey kisses Sally again.
Great. Tails goes, ooh, Sonic is not gonna like this. And Antoine says, why do all the nice girls go after mean guys?
So Rotor, no. They just sort of leave and Sonic like thinks about, damn, I hate that guy in the beret. I'm going to figure out a way to get revenge on him as the train pulls away.
Yeah, so this might have been me misreading the whole Sally Sonic thing. I thought it was always like Sonic thought of her as like a good friend and Sally also thought that and everyone's like, ooh, I bet they're in a relationship. And Sonic's like, I've never thought about that once in my life. But I guess I was wrong.
Yeah. The story ends with the editor asking us, what do you think he should do to win the hand of the fair Princess Sally? Write us and stay tuned for more in future issues.
Nothing. She should do nothing.
Yeah.
Sonic is Arrow Ace. Sally's a lesbian.
Mm-hmm. They're gay.
Yeah. Sally is dating the rabbit. Sonic is Arrow Ace and has never thought about relationships once in his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that skunk should be in jail.
He should be.
He's an adult man!
He is an adult man. We, after waiting for however many months since the Knuckles Chaotix special, we get a follow-up that's just 2 pages of Knuckles.
Like 2 pages.
He's walking around thinking about his friends that are...
Yeah, he's really walking.
He's being spied on by Archimedes.
Who's wearing a big, funny cowboy hat like a weasel we know.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course.
All I'm saying?
Knack the Archimedes.
Yeah.
Knack the Archimedes. Or this is the return of Sonic OVA Knuckles, who also had a big, funny cowboy hat.
Yeah. He's gonna beat him up and get the hat.
Yeah, he's like, there can only be one Knuckles in town.
Mm-hmm. We get our last story for this issue, which is part 1 of a story featuring Rotor. Rotor is woken up by a radio, which he then explains to Sonic and Sally is a gift from his mother, that he kept around for sentimental reasons. And it activates again. It's his mom asking for help. Yeah, so, Rotor's family is from the Arctic, and we see, he shows us on a big computer screen where they live. It's the North Pole. It's one of the last pristine wilderness areas. Sally gives him permission to go. Rotor's gonna go by himself because this is a Rotor solo story.
Family business.
It's family business.
Just like the Winchesters.
He gets in a bathysphere, and the reader is encouraged to help him get there by solving a fun maze.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a try.
Give it a try. I wonder if... I feel like this is something they do in, like... I wonder if they do this in, like, regular Archie Comics issues or something.
It sounds like something.
Yeah. So, he ends up at the frozen North Sea, where his mom and his brother Skeeter live. He gets over to where they are, but they're just blank and motionless. Everyone here is blank and motionless. Until, a voice over like a PA tells them to go into the hidden fortress in the iceberg. And if you don't, you're gonna get clubbed by ice bots, who are SWAT bots, but they have square heads like an ice cube.
It's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. It's Robotnik.
He's like, I recognize that voice. Fuck, it's Robotnik. I gotta play along and pretend to be zombified.
Yeah. He detonated a neuron bomb over the colony, and the fallout has made them mindless thralls. He originally was going to go for a polar ice cap situation, creating a sort of water world, but the budget's too much, so instead he's going to freeze the world. By the way, the movie Waterworld came out in 1995.
What a weird reference.
Mm-hmm. I guess it was topical, but it is weird.
I guess.
It's
one of those references that I'm just like, okay, I know it's like, this one's for the parents, but like, what child is reading that being like, oh shit, I love that movie?
Mm-hmm. I'm taking my kids to see the new Kevin Costner film, Waterworld.
Me as a small child, oh boy, I can't wait to see how good Jane Triplehorn is in this.
Mm-hmm.
I loved her performance in Basic Instinct.
What? Yeah, the budget was $175 million USD in 1995.
I know, it was kind of insane.
Mm-hmm. One of the robots smacks Rotor on the ass, and
he says Buenos Dias.
Mm-hmm. Rotor is caught, or his cover is blown.
Yeah, Rotor goes imbecile.
He runs away, and he trips, and his hands are run over by a car. But for real, he gets a club thrown on his head, and he falls in the water.
And then the robot does like a fun little like dance because he's so excited for killing Rotor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's me when I get a kill in Fortnite or whatever.
Yeah, this robot starts doing the Orange Justice.
Mm-hmm. So, that ends this issue, and we move on to issue number 32. Our last issue for tonight. In this first story, Blast from the Past, Sonic and the Freedom Fighters are dealing with being chased by SWAT bots in a tundra of some sort.
Very weird if you're like me and not paying attention and being like, wait, but I thought Rotor was by himself in the tundra, and being like, wait, that's a different story.
They went to go visit him. They said, hey man, how you doing?
Not well. I am not doing well.
I got clubbed over the head.
Yeah. As it turns out, part of this patrol of SWAT bots chasing after them is Sonic's old dog, Mutsky. He was his best friend, the only dog he liked more than a chili dog. I do love looking at the flesh dog Mutsky versus the robot Mutsky in the panel below.
They're very different looking.
I know. Also,
I'm like, Sonic, how did you recognize
It's
him?
because there's only one dog on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He's the last dog.
Because I'm like, Chuck looks like Chuck, but this dog is very different.
There's only one dog on the whole planet.
Sonic tries to help Mutsky, but all he can do is get Mutsky to stop and call off the patrol. I guess. They leave, but thankfully Uncle Chuck is here to help them figure out a plan. So they're about to start on a new plan when Antoine trips and falls and hits a big chunk of ice with a guy inside it.
We do get an incredible panel where Antoine is falling and dying and like breaking all his bones, and Tails is just pointing and being like, "Look, everyone, Antoine's doing a Sonic spin."
Yeah.
I love that Tails also enjoys when Antoine gets hurt.
It's a prehistoric Mobian bear. And so they take him back to Knothole, to revive him. That's what they're doing now.
Gee, I'm sure glad that he's in there and we're out here and he's in the sheriff and we're out here and he's in there.
But I just remembered we're in there. But what I want to know is, where's the caveman?
The caveman, they say he's a bear. He looks
like a guy.
Like a guy with, like the ears are a little funny, but they're not even bear ears. I don't know.
He's got a...
Yeah, he looks like what I expect like a cartoon caveman from the Sonic era to look like.
He looks like one of those dog people from like Mickey Mouse stuff.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's just got like the nose, but otherwise looks like a person.
Yeah, this is like, I know Pete isn't a dog, which I learned recently. He's a cat. But he looks like, what if they were like, oh, we have prehistoric Pete here.
Yeah.
But he's a bear, I guess.
Yeah, he's a bear. They make a little thing to thaw him out, but it's gonna take several days. Sonic, being incredibly bored, is about to leave when he accidentally bumps into the thawing laser machine and just sets it to max and instantly melts the ice.
Why did he think this was a good idea, though? Like, it ends up being fine, spoilers, but why was he like, yeah, let's do this?
The caveman goes apeshit, smashes the thawing device, starts running around, but thankfully, his rampage is stopped by Bunny Rabbit.
By him remembering his heterosexual past.
So they try to figure out a plan. Bunny comes up with one because he had a little brush. So Bunny figures he must be like a cave painter or something. So she draws a little picture of the caveman and her and Sonic being friends. It works. He remembers his heteronormative nuclear cave family.
Who also had a dog.
They also had a dog. And he
Do you think
away.
Sonic's dog is like an immortal dog who just like has existed forever? Because he's like almost the same color as Mutsky.
Much to consider. But he runs off for a mountain range with a bunch of caves in it. Sonic follows and sees our caveman being confronted by SWAT bots. Sonic rescues him by spinning around a bunch and creating a little tornado. It works, but it leaves Sonic dizzy and he walks directly into a stalagmite. Then Mutsky's here. The caveman, who has had a rope this whole time, lassos onto a tree branch and swings and saves him. He's about to smash Mutsky to pieces when Sonic, who does not want his favorite dog smashed to pieces, makes him a little cave painting, showing that he and the dog are friends.
Can we talk about Mutsky doing the thirsty flower pose in this scene?
He kind of does the thirsty flower pose.
I would just like to point it out. No real comment on it, just that he's doing it.
Yeah. All dogs do this.
You know? All dogs really be thirsty little flowers.
Mm-hmm. You have to give them water.
Regular water!
Which is in a bowl. Just a bowl of regular water.
Yeah.
Can't hydrate because he's a robot.
Yeah, from the writers of All Dogs Go to Heaven comes All Dogs Are Thirsty Little Flowers.
Mm-hmm. They are able to make Mutsky they are able to help Mutsky regain his sentience.
Yeah.
Question mark?
He's kind of like, Chuck, where he's still a robot, but he, like, recognizes Sonic, and he's good now, but robot.
Yeah, Chuck just downloads goodboy.exe into his brain.
So true.
So, Uncle Chuck figures the best solution for this caveman is to take him to a jungle, which is probably as close to home as he can get. He shakes paws with Mutsky and accidentally breaks off the paw. But it's okay, because he's a robot.
Is it, though?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
He's fine. He looks fine. He's happy.
Yeah. We get... And... Hey, do you remember the Chaotix?
No, who are they?
Who?
Who?
They're here, in some mysterious dark room. They're being told by a mysterious voice that, he's keeping them prisoner just for now. He, like, opens a door and they're in, like, a weird tech base.
We do get another shot of the SBO from Straight On again, and it still looks bad.
Yeah. It looks real bad. The thing is about SBO's design is the horn is essentially a substitute for the nose, but...
Yeah, but it's like on his, like, eyebrows, so it's always real bad.
Yeah. They go through this tech base and see the shadow of Archimedes.
It can't be.
We'll have to find out next month.
Definitely...
Because right now,
Rotor's just having a good time.
Yeah.
He's just chilling.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
He gets rescued by those Arctic freedom fighters from Sonic the Hedgehog number 26. There's like a polar bear and a seal. I remember this story. I don't remember what happened in the story, but
yeah,
I remember these guys.
Yeah. That's my extent with knowing these guys is, I vaguely remember you.
Another French character.
A lot of French people in this comic by Americans. This one, however, is not meant to be hated.
Yeah, he's on thin ice.
Yeah.
No, don't you see? They have eyelashes.
Yeah, that means girl.
Well then.
But yeah, she...
no, I didn't see that.
She and...
Yeah, I know. Honestly, they're non-binary to me.
Celia the seal and Augustus the polar bear. They figure out the exact plan to defeat this, which is to provide a big wooden horse as a gift to Dr. Robotnik.
Who just, falls for it.
It works every time.
It always works.
It's a survive the test of time.
Evergreen plan.
They jump out, they beat up the robots, and Robotnik counters by sending all of Robotnik's friends, family, and fellow walruses to attack them.
God. Yeah.
They're saying, must destroy Rotor, must destroy Rotor. But, they figure out a plan. Augustus leaves Rotor on the edge while, he goes under and just smashes through the ice, so they're all stuck on a little floating piece of ice.
I do love how kind of standoffish Augustus is with Rotor for no reason.
Just doesn't like this guy.
Yeah, he's always just kind of like, okay, so, you're gonna stay right here and I'm gonna jump into the water. That's my plan. And he's like, that's not a great plan. And he's like, Yeah, sure, bud.
He's so angry.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Rotor for some reason.
Yeah. Rotor's family and the villagers are left to float on this ice with a little communicator. And maybe someday we'll see what happens to them. I don't know. I genuinely don't remember if they follow up on this or not.
Yeah, they're all still mind controlled.
Yeah, they're just left, like, mind controlled by the end of this.
What's the communicator gonna do? Is he gonna, like, check in every day, be like, you guys still mind controlled?
The editor leaves a little note telling us that if we want to see what happens, we gotta send in some letters and ask for more Rotor stories.
Well, I'm gonna send in a letter right now and be like, what happened?
And that's it for today. Let's see let's see. Okay, yeah, let's do some asks. I think we've gone on a bit long, so I won't read from the Sonic Encyclopedia. So, let's okay, our first question. Let's see, questions. Okay. See, no questions on Twitter. If you want to send in a question, you can either send it into our Twitter in response to an ask tweet on @ShuffleSonic, or you can send in a question anytime at your leisure in the Sonic Shuffle Discord, linked in the Twitter and in the show notes. Teddy asks, allegedly, Knuckles is the last of his living relatives, but doesn't he have an aunt or something? Yeah, that's Tikal.
Yeah, and she keeps trying to tell him about his, like, deep, mysterious past, and he says,
No, do not tell me Aunt fucking Tikal.
Also, like...
Also, she's not alive.
She is technically dead.
Yeah.
She is, like, fully a ghost.
Well, I'm sure... We also saw Knuckles' great-grandpa the last time we talked about Archie. So we know about that guy.
God.
I'm sure we won't... I'm sure that's his only other relative. I hope they meet someday.
I'm just, like, remembering that we are in full Ken Penders era. Great.
Jasmine Sidmons asks a similar question. Are adaptation-only family members of the original cast something you vibe with, or does that lead way to Penders?
Adaptation-only members of the original cast?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Or basically, if in an adaptation they give them a relative, or of some, if an adaptation of something they give someone a relative, like say Uncle Chuck.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
I think it's fine. It fleshes out backstory. It can provide new, interesting characters. I just hate Ken Penders so much. So, you know, much to consider when doing this.
Maybe if it wasn't written by Ken Penders.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, but like, I say this, but then I know there's like, for every Ken Penders, there's another writer who also makes me mad.
Yeah, I mean, people do make like family members. A lot of times it's like these two characters, probably hetero characters, have sex, have baby in like a later, like in the future.
Yeah, it's like Sonic and Sally Acorn fuck once and then they have family.
Yeah.
And like that can get annoying, but there's also a small part of my fandom brain that takes joy in that. So it's like something that I think in general like because it's like something that I do in my head. Like, oh, these characters, what if they got together and had a child? I don't know. But, like, that was more something I did when I was a kid. But, like, if you're just talking about, like, other family members, like, that's fine, usually.
Yeah, and it can also be fun if it was like, oh, this character's like, I'm the last of my people, and it's like, oh, but what if you had, like, a cool, mysterious, like, sister, or, like, you had, like, a cool, mysterious, like, cousin who was really cool, and, like, you guys had to get to angsty, like, damn, I'm not the last of my people. That's fun.
That's fun, yeah. Just, it can be ruined, but it can also be fun, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope into, my name is Rey Palpatine, and my grandfather was Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
Isn't Kylo Ren kind of that also?
Yeah, Kylo Ren's the, like, two characters we knew had a child. Rey Palpatine is, did you know Rey is related to this guy who's old? Fucked once? Who apparently fucked once.
Yeah.
And had a child he never mentioned.
Yeah, that sucks.
Sheevy Palps did not die a virgin.
Yeah, Sheevy Palpatine's like, I need to fuck once.
Drashura asks, I once had a dream I met Renfield T. Roden, and he was wearing a sensible polo. Who's the weirdest person who's ever shown up in your dreams?
I, like, only remember my dreams, like, maybe 50% of the time, so I don't know. And that's generous.
I'm obsessed with this idea of Ren T. Rodent wearing a nice, like, polo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is
I'm sorry, I can't even think about my dreams right now. This is such a good image in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Was the collar popped?
It's gotta be, right?
It's gotta be.
Right.
Like, if he's gonna wear a polo, it's still gotta be... There's gotta be something like that, you know?
The collar has to be popped.
Or, like, maybe he has to have, like, a coat that's, like, flashy and shit, if not, you know?
Yeah, maybe it's a nice shade of blue.
That's so good. That's so good. I don't remember, like, what was the weirdest dream I think, actually, the weirdest dream I ever had was, I remember when I was younger, I dreamt that Smaug from The Hobbit ate my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
At, like, our local gas station.
Mm-hmm. I'm having I don't remember enough dreams to tell you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's one weirder than that, but I just can't remember.
Yeah. There is one I have that's, like, really old. It's funny that I don't remember my more recent dreams. Like, I think there's just this one image I have in my head of, like, a basilisk. Mm-hmm. Maybe I was watching, like, Chamber of Secrets or something. God, speaking of people who ruin story, who do a lot of weird shit with family. Ugh! Anyway.
But
I remember a basilisk being the story. That's all I was trying to say.
I wrote down a weird dream some time ago. Let me see. I wrote it down. I know exactly what Discord I sent it in. So let me see if I can find my description of my dream.
Yeah, my problem is normally I don't have, like, dreams where weird characters show up. Normally I have dreams that feel a little too real and bother me for the rest of the day.
Yeah. I have, like, nowadays, it's weird because I have more dreams now because I take meds they're so, like, normal, I guess, now. So it's like, I had a weird, like, the weirdest thing that happens is, like, I did something weird with my friends. So there's not a weird character. It's just, like, a weird event and my friends were there.
Yeah, my dreams are like, I went into work and, like, one of our, like, lab machines was broken and I couldn't fix it.
Yeah!
And I'm like, shit.
Well, I looked up the dream that I wrote down. I was fleeing a massive family of wealthy cannibals. And while I was running from them, there was a whole musical number where they were, like, describing me in the various ways you would describe food. I think it was I think the tune was something like an Oingo Boingo song, because I remember
sounds sick
a really
as fuck.
good synthesizer in it.
That sounds so good.
The rest of the dream was normal. It just suddenly became that. So, yeah, that's my weird dream. As far as, like, people showing up in my dreams, the only ones I can immediately recall are various family members. I can't remember if anyone famous has shown up in a dream of mine. Alright. I think that's it for questions. Oh, yes, I remember now. I feel we're due for a fan zone, so, I was thinking, we read some more comics, but different comics this time. I think we should read, Tyson Hesse's old Sonic comics, if I can find them. Let me see real quick. Yes, Boxer Hockey is, there might, let's see. Okay, Boxer Hockey Archive. Okay, I can probably look up the old Tyson Hesse comics easy. If not, I'll see where else I can look. But I'll be reading those, and we'll be reading a bit of the Hydroxian webcomic Hangin Out, which stars Metal Sonic and Amy.
Hell yeah.
So look forward to it.
All right.
I'm always excited to see more Metal Sonic.
Mm.
Especially when he doesn't have a mouth.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Hang on.
Uh-oh.
I think he is drawn with a mouth, but he's also completely redesigned for when he has a mouth. I think he, like, takes on this, like, fake Mobian form.
Okay, that's funny.
Or something.
Yeah.
So, that's that. So until next time. Plugs. What am I thinking? Okay. I'm Dan. You can find me at a lot of places, and you can find all those places at linktr.ee/big_challenges. From there, you can find my Twitter, at biggerchallenge. You can find my YouTube, where I've got some videos of me playing Fallout 4, with mods on it. You can listen to my other podcasts, which include Pod of Greed, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast, where we're getting to the end of Season 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. It's, one of the, Discord users, described, this era of GX as being the sickos only
It
mode.
is!
So look forward to that.
I'm so behind.
You can listen to Video Games, the Movie, the Podcast, a video game movie review podcast I do with my friend Maxie. Our episode for this month will be, Super Mario Brothers, The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach with special guest Sky. And you can also listen to my finished podcast, Chill Bleed, about Ill Bleed, and my inactive podcast, Stranger's Fiction, which is an actual play. And last but not least, you can visit at Xbox_holiday, where Usher celebrates holidays with Xbox. One that recently passed was Second Passover. Happy Second Passover, Xbox. Morg, where can we find you?
You can find me at Haunting the Morg on Twitter. That's Haunting the MORG. You can also find me on my other podcasts. Departureland still exists. But my active podcasts are Forward ReZero, a ReZero Watch podcast, and Digimon Ghost Gaze, a Digimon Ghost Game podcast. We just put out another Digimon Ghost Gayest episode, which is like our kind of spin-off-y thing while there was like a hiatus, because it was like a recap episode recently, and we talked about Gay Tamers episodes between Ranamon and Ruki. And yeah, Dichmanske. Devon, where can we find you?
You can find me also on a Hunter x Hunter podcast called Going Well Hunting, and that is it right now.
And you can find us on Twitter at Shuffle Sonic. You can find our Discord, which is starting to have a little more discussion. It's good to see.
Yeah.
And you can also find us on Noisepace.xyz. Noisepace.xyz is a podcast network with many, many shows on it. And we like to shout out these shows in our alphabetical shout-out list. So, this week's shout-out is Giants Confirmed. Let's see. It is about Trevor Ickrath and Matt Ribeiro, aka Matt GameCube, talking about They Might Be Giants. They go from album to album, talking about how great They Might Be Giants is. The most recent episode is... Okay, the most recent episode is from March 5th, 2021. Matt and Trevor interviewed for The Burr. Or is this... Wait, is this an episode? Yes, this is an episode. They were on the Kent State publication The Burr to talk about the band they love. And they've included some audio from that interview as part of the episode. And before that, the previous proper episode was on a year earlier, March 20th, 2020, episode 73, Sense Around. Let's see. And, of course, we may have a lot of shows on Noisepace, but there's a lot of other shows that aren't on the network, but are made by friends of ours. And this week's network shout-out is Ham Radio. It is a Hamtaro watch-along podcast.
Oh my god.
That rules. Let's go.
By Gary Mal and a rotating cast of guests. I think the link provided isn't working, but I will see if I can find this podcast. Give me a second. Ham Radio podcast. No, these are... Let me see here. This is harder to find than I thought it would be. Is it even up? Is it online?
Only available for the worthy.
Here we go. Ham Radio. Looks like they only ever made 3 episodes in 2021.
No. Bummer.
Yeah.
Well, plenty more for the future then.
Yeah. So I will just, they did an episode 0, they did one on the first 2 episodes, and then they did one on the 3rd and 4th episodes. But maybe you can go back and listen to that. It seems nice, even if they didn't get to cover much. Until next time, Sonic is real, he is strong, and he is my friend.
He is the only blue live that matters.
The only one.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.